Hello everyone, and thank you once again for tuning into my channel. So as you read in the title, today is about air guns. I'm taking my channel on a slightly different tangent because I have, lately I have taken up doing things outdoors, both myself and with my boys. And we all enjoy it, you know. I'm sorry, I've got a slight issue with one of my air guns, and I'm trying to remedy it. So today's video is all about air guns, and there it is. And you have to ask yourself, what is an air gun? Now there it is. There are multiple different definitions of an air gun, and if you were to ask different people, they would tell you different things. Most commonly, most people would think of the blower attachment that you put on an air compressor to, you know, to dust things off. And it's a ramrod for a barrel cleaner. And that's most commonly what people refer to as an air gun. However, the technical term for an actual air gun, that is a gun that is a replica of a firearm that uses compressed air as a propellant to expel a projectile forward. That projectile, depending upon the gun you have, it can be a 6mm low-density plastic BB. These are used in airsoft guns, which I have 3 of them. And maybe here in a little bit I can take them down range and demonstrate them. Here's a close-up of a 6mm low-density plastic BB. And in airsoft, they are meant for target shooting, but in a way that would be 100% safe, that if you accidentally hit a car or an animal or anything of that nature, no harm is done. Because, well, where did it go? I have another one over here on the floor. Because of the fact that it is low density, it's very, very lightweight. It loses a lot of velocity due to wind drag and air resistance as it travels. And once it hits something, it just bounces. It's bink, you know. And like I say, if you were to accidentally hit someone, I mean, you could cause some amount of harm if you were to tag someone in the eye with it, or maybe against the teeth. But other than that, you're really not going to hurt anyone. I mean, if you're wearing like long sleeve shirt or any kind of a jacket, you're not even going to feel it. So, but that's airsoft. Next in line would be the 177 caliber, or I believe it's 4.5mm BB, which I do not see my large container of BBs in here anywhere. I do, it's over there. But to spare you guys, this is a 177 BB. Now I use the Crosman copperheads is what they're called, but they're copper coated. The copper coated ones have a steel core, lead-free, environmentally friendly. But more so than that, the copper is a little bit more friendly against rifled barrels, and even smooth bore barrels, which we'll get into that when it's appropriate. In 177, you can also have pellets, which, since I have a tin over here open, I'll use these as an example. This is the Crosman Premier Destroyer. See, it is the same size as your 177 BB. The only difference is that instead of a BB being completely round, this has a skirt and a hollow back. This allows it to grab the rifling of the barrel and spin as it comes out the barrel. And I have several different kinds of pellets over here, but that's the 177 caliber And then right here, I just happen to have my loader pin handy. Now I only have one of these. It's 22 caliber. 22 caliber is a little bit bigger. This is the Crosman Premier Piranha, which, like the Destroyer, it is also a hollow point, but instead of it being a traditional hollow point, you guys can probably see the picture on the can better than you can see it in my fingers. It has a serrated edge. So it gives penetration and expansion at the same time. Same thing with the Destroyer. It has that tip, that point in the middle of a hollow point, so it gives penetration and expansion all at the same time. And just as a comparison, let's pick up the 177 BB 22 pellet. And same thing, it has the skirt on it so it can grab the rifling of the barrel, the curves in the barrel, and fly straight. Anything that flies through the air must follow a spiraling trajectory, otherwise it will not fly straight. That's the purpose of flights on an arrow, which I also have a bow over here that I may show off one of these days. And there are other calibers, but right now that's the only calibers I have. The 6mm, which I forget, it's 6mm what? Like, it's not quite a 25 caliber, because I think 25 caliber is 6.5mm. 22 caliber is 5.5, and 177 is 4.5mm. So you're moving up a millimeter almost with every shot. And it's important to know what ammunition goes into each gun, for the simple fact that you don't want a misfire, a jam. You don't want to damage your gun, of course. Now, as always, if you're going to be experimenting or playing around, find a gun that suits your purpose. That's another reason I'm doing these videos, is to give you kind of a heads up and give you different reviews on guns that you can kind of see how they work before you go out and spend $50, $80, $100, $200. And some of you are like, wow, $200 for a gun? Think about it for a minute. A 17 caliber bolt action Marlin, which is a gun I used to have. It's a 17 caliber bullet. It loads 7 in the magazine, and you rack the bolt after every shot. Incredibly accurate, high velocity, but low power. Perfect for pest control, critter getter, rabbit, squirrel, things of that nature. And that gun, after you buy the scope, you're probably looking at about $600 for a gun. And that's one of the cheaper ones. You can get most 22 Magnums anywhere between $85 and $200. That's without a scope. That's just the gun itself. No scope, no ammunition. Whereas with pellet guns and other air guns, example. This is a Red Ryder. It is a BB gun. BBs only. It does not take pellets in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I mean, I'm sure it can be modified, but as it comes off the shelf, it is strictly a BB gun. It's very, very, very simple air gun to use. I've had this particular one since I was about 10 years old. I let my son use it to play around in the yard, supervised, of course, but still. Now, you can get this gun at Walmart, most sporting goods stores like Academy Outdoors. I believe Target sells them, or if they don't now, they used to. But you can get these guns anywhere between $20 and $30. And then actually I'll show it to you. Give me just a moment. Oh goodness, this chair is not user friendly. You can get now bear in mind, when I first got this bottle, it was up to here with BBs. My boys love to shoot. So, this is Crosman, the Copperhead's the same as BB I just showed you. This is a 6,000 count container, runs about $8. So 40 bucks, you can get the gun, can of BBs, you're ready to go shooting. But the Red Ryder is a plinker. Now, what do I mean by that? There are different classes of guns. Lowest on the chain, I say, are plinkers. What does that mean? A plinker is something that you can shoot a can with. Maybe the orange clay discs. Some target paper if there's nothing behind it. That's about it. That's all it's going to do. It might put out a window, but that's about it. Airsoft, I don't even consider to be plinkers. Airsoft are just, they're essentially toys for adults. This is an airsoft. Somebody didn't put it back on safety. It's empty right now. But airsoft work essentially like a real gun. Magazine comes out, you put your BBs in it, slide it back in, and you pump it to engage the spring. This particular model is a single shot. You have to engage the spring after every shot. And then notice it has an orange tip. That orange tip is to signify this is not a firearm. This is not in any way dangerous, again, unless you get banked in the eye with it. I mean, you wouldn't even be able to really pistol whip somebody because it's all plastic. The only metal parts are right in here, the actual gas cylinder that pumps up the air with, you know. And like I said, I don't even consider this to be a plinker. This is something that you and your buddies get in the backyard and have a war with, and then go inside and eat. You might can shoot it inside the house. You know, maybe at the office you're bored, you set up a little target on your desk and on your lunch break, you know. But that's about all this is good for. Whereas this one, the PSM 45 by Crosman, once again, just like a real firearm, you load BBs into the clip, put it in, then you actuate it just like you would an airsoft. Once again, someone didn't put it back on safety. I'm real big on putting a gun on safety before I put it away. That's just a habit. Notice this one does not have an orange tip. Orange tip, no orange tip. Now, this one ran me about $25 at a Tractor Supply. I mean, it's got a good feel to it. It's got a good grip. It's comfortable to hold. It's even got a little dovetail right there on the bottom where you can put lasers and stuff, man. It's pretty sweet gun. But unfortunately, in the world of air guns, I said all that to say this. Wait, let me finish what I was saying before I run off on another tangent. Because this uses steel, as in, hang on, let me get my fingers around it. Because it uses metal, a metal BB, as its ammunition, this one loses the certification for an orange marker on the end. Meaning that this could hurt. This could bust a blister on you, could make you bleed, put your eye out. Not just, ow, ow. I mean, like, you're going to the hospital and they have to cut the rest of it out because, it went in. And unfortunately, with all the technology, smartphones, smart TVs, smart cars, with all the technology we have, we still have not found a replacement eyeball. So once something goes in there and pierces your eyeball, if it can't regrow back on its own, you just lost an eye, friend. So, there was something else I was going to say. Oh, yeah. I said all that to say this. This was $25 at a Tractor Supply. It is a spring actuated, but it is still a plinker, meaning you can shoot a tin can with it. That's about it. Because of the fact the ammunition is metal, it still poses a threat. Because it will keep its trajectory, it will keep its shape. Whereas these low-density plastic BBs, they are zero penetration. What does zero penetration mean? Zero penetration means no matter how hard it hits you, regardless of the gun it comes out of, no matter how hard it hits you, it will never, ever go in. Now, I might leave a little blister. And, I mean, if it hits something soft, like, you know, your nose, your eye, there's a chance it could go in if you're close enough. Like I said, these things are low density, so they're going to lose velocity as they go through the air. Airsoft were meant to be adult toys. Not a toy that you give your 6-year-old and let them run around the yard unsupervised. No. This is meant for adults. The package says that you have to be 18 plus to buy it, but I would say 15 plus to let them play with these. Because yes, you get shot with it, it's going to sting. Probably not going to draw blood. Probably just going to be like a mosquito bite, a red mark, and next day it's gone. So be wary whenever you go to purchase your air gun, if you are looking into getting an air gun, to what you want in this air gun. Do you want it to be something to play around with, something to tinker in the backyard? Pest control, maybe something to take hunting. I personally want air guns to take hunting. I hunt small game, squirrel and rabbit. Excuse me, my nose has been running the last few days. So I hunt small game, squirrel and rabbit, and the occasional bird, if the target opportunity presents itself. And I have 3 that are powerful enough to do the job, one of which has already claimed 2 squirrels. But, I mean, that's on me. If you guys would like to know more about it, leave me a comment below. If you know of a gun model that you've heard of it, your buddy has it, you're like, hey man, what are the pros, the cons, the good and the bad about this? See, I'm going to be going through each of these guns, each of the guns I own, and there's going to be a couple of guns that I'm going to be getting soon. I'll even review my bow. That bow, I know you guys can't see it. It's out of the shot. It's actually over there behind my camera. I'm using my phone as my camera once again. That bow, I will not be showing off for the simple fact it does not have a peep sight and the strings need to be replaced. I bought it at a pawn shop about a year ago, and the strings were somewhat degraded then, and about 2-3 days after I got it home, I was playing around with it, trying to get a feel for it, you know, and I accidentally dry fired it. And when I dry fired it, the strings just frayed apart. So right now it is it's an accident waiting to happen until I get the strings replaced. And for safety reasons, I'm not going to be showing that particular bow off. So that's enough of me jawing and yammering and carrying on about that. So you have the basics of air guns. You have 3 to 4 different varieties. You have the airsoft, which, like I said, I don't even rate an airsoft as a plinker. Okay, they're airsoft. They are one of a kind. A paintball gun has more power than an airsoft. You stand more chance of getting hurt by a paintball gun than you do by an airsoft gun, and paintball guns are designed to shoot at each other. So, I mean, they're made for competition. Then you have a plinker. Plinkers are good for shooting cans. They're good for scaring away dogs. That's about it. You have target shooters. Target shooters are similar to plinkers, except they hold accuracy. If you were to put a scope on it or some kind of sight, it could hold its shots in about, I'd say about that much of a group. That means all of your shots will be somewhere in that circle. Pest control. Pest control air guns, they have a little bit more power than the previous 2 I mentioned, or previous 3 I mentioned, but pest control, they have enough power to actually kill something. Mouse, rat, I'm not going to make any suggestions, but cat. And they are meant that if you're, I don't know, in the yard, if you're in the yard with your kids, maybe a wife, you're cooking out for 4th of July. It's hot, and you look down and you just happen to see a snake over there. Well, you got kids over there playing in the pool and you don't want to alarm them, so you just go to your truck or your bedroom somewhere close by. You get your air gun that's meant for pest control. You put a pellet or BB, whatever, or clip, however it loads, and just snake's done, nobody's alarmed. And then you have your air guns that are meant for hunting. Hunting air guns are extremely accurate. They make a variety of tasty ammunition for these particular guns. Like I said, I have 3 that are capable of hunting, 2 of which are actually made for hunting. I have one that is made to be target shooting, pest control, and that's target shooting, pest control. Now, the box says that it's capable of hunting. I don't know that. I haven't had much chance to play around with it and test it out. And maybe in the next couple of videos I can show it off. I'm going to do my videos in the amount of firepower that my guns have in terms of muzzle velocity as well as muzzle energy. Now, muzzle velocity and muzzle energy are not the same thing. And just wild example, my 177 caliber rifle has a higher... No, actually it does not. My bad. I almost lied to you. But a buddy of mine has a 177 caliber rifle that is similar to mine. And his is rated for 1,100 foot per second. My 22 caliber rifle is a break barrel, which means that the barrel swings down, and as the barrel swings down, there's a rod that pushes in to pump up the cylinder to compress the air. And then when the barrel comes up, pull the trigger, it releases the air to push the pellet. But anyways, me and him both have break barrels. His break barrel is a 177 rated for 1,100 foot per second. My 22 is also a break barrel and rated for 950 feet per second. Now, right there, you'd be like, wait a minute. So if a 177 goes faster than a 22, why would I want a 22? Here's the kicker. The 177 only produces 17 to 18 foot-pounds coming out the barrel. My Benjamin Prowler produces 21 foot-pounds. 21 foot-pounds behind a pellet, that is enough that if you were to hold your arm over the barrel, it would go completely through your arm. If it didn't go completely through the arm, it would be back here against this part of your skin. I've had to dig pellets out of 2 squirrels. And I had one pellet that was dome-headed in shape, and I shot the squirrel right here under the jaw. It went under his jaw, through his mouth, and it stopped up here somewhere in his cranial cavity. Brain, if you will. And it was a kill shot. He was done. But I don't kill for fun. That particular squirrel is actually over there in my freezer. I'm going to wait until I kill about 2 more squirrels. As I said before, I've already killed 2. So that's 2 in the freezer. And once I kill 2, maybe 3 more, that'll be 5 squirrels, 4 or 5. And I can throw them together with some rice, cook them up. Oh my goodness, that's going to be good. The other squirrel I shot with actually one of those piranhas, which, bear in mind, the piranha is hollow point. It expands. It's like this when it hits, but as it goes in, it expands and opens up. Now, the other squirrel I shot in the stomach region, and I think I actually got her in the liver. Not entirely sure, but whatever the case may be, it went in the stomach region, and right there, she just folded up. Folded up like a paper bag, and then hit the ground. No kicking, no screeching, none of that. She folded up. And when I was skinning her and cleaning her out, I found the pellet lodged right beside her backbone. So that's the difference in muzzle velocity versus muzzle energy. And like I said, as I go through the guns, I'll compare them. I will give you the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, tune in if you would like to see more. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen.